Thanks for coming out, everybody. My name is Kendra Arneson. I am the outreach coordinator for Coastal Heritage Society of Louisiana. I've also been one of the only residents to be granted security into BP's offices, their operations sections. I've been up in the air, out to the Deepwater Horizon site itself, all over, to say the least. I have several things that I want to address with everyone today. Number one that I'm going to go into is the fact that they are opening Louisiana waters for shrimping as of Monday. This is a huge concern. From what we're being told, the dock owners have asked our fishermen to sign a waiver stating that they would be responsible for their own catch and as to whether or not the catch was clean without chemicals in it. This liability cannot fall with our fishermen. Bottom line is, what I want to ask for, and I'm going to propose this within the next week to the EPA, FDA, BP, our parish officials, and our governor of Louisiana, is that if the FDA's waved this magic wand and says that the Gulf's clean, the seafood's safe, let's get some FDA mobile units on our docks and let's actually do some chemical testing, not a sniff test, with a machine, chemical testing, take samples of both the organs and the tissues from the species as they're being brought into the point of the dock for sale. And you know, the thing about this is, people need to understand something. One batch of bad seafood goes on the market, it's over for our commercial fishermen. All along the coast, our fishermen have rebuilt from dirt. After hurricane on top of hurricane, we went back, we worked the waters, we did what we had to do. Everyone's got these new loans, these new homes. They have no equity built into anything. If we can't work, BP's already put up a fight. They're not going to pay our fishermen. Bottom line. If we can't work, we can't pay our bills, we're going to lose our places, we're going to lose our homes, our land, our foothold. I'm talking about people with generations of commercial fishermen as far back as we can trace. This is their divine right. This was handed down to them, family after family member. You know, at the heritage, the heritage here, it's going to be a cultural genocide if they do not test the seafood and make sure that it's safe. Not only to protect our fishermen, but hello, what about the consumer? We've prided ourselves in bringing out fresh fish, fresh shrimp, fresh seafood all together to make sure, and I mean, we take the best of care of our fish, and all along the Gulf Coast, commercial fishermen know better. They know how to do this. They've been doing it for generation after generation. So we pride ourselves in bringing fresh, uncontaminated seafood to the market for the consumer to eat. The Gulf produced before BP the best seafood on the entire continent of the United States. So the bottom line here is, guys, we need the FDA on the docks to actually do chemical testing for the components in the crude itself, which is much more toxic than Louisiana sweet crude. Just want to put that in there. And we need them to test for the chemical components in the dispersants as well. As far as the Vessel of Opportunity program goes, I've heard the terms billionaires, I've heard get rich quick, and let me tell you something about that. The Vessel of Opportunity program, BP sent me a letter, and it clearly states that federal law clearly states that any and all income from alternative employment or businesses undertaken, or potential income from alternative employment or businesses not undertaken but reasonably available, will be deducted from their claim in its entirety. So that means that our guys have been out here, our charter fishermen and our commercial fishermen have been out here cleaning up BP's mess and taking BP's people all over the place and working off their own claim. What if we didn't have boats? And they would have had to hire them anyway and pay the claim of their litigants. Then they would have had to pay for their boats themselves out their own pocket, not out of our business money. You know, we got people down here from all over the country. I know over in Louisiana, we got someone from Gretna with a plumbing company, got 4 boats on the job. Never fished a day in his life. Had guaranteed positions. I can't even get home at Indians that have been there for 9, 10, however far back they can trace generation after generation onto the job. But we got these people down there on this job working, making all this money, hiring captains, putting them on their boats, and then they turn around and they can still take their money from their plumbing company. But we can't still have our money from our company, even though you look at the photographs, who's on the boats dripping in oil? The commercial fishermen, that's who. So the bottom line here is this has been mismanaged and poorly handled from day one. The oil is still all over around our peninsula out in Louisiana, Plaquemines Parish. I am the closest resident to the Deepwater Horizon site itself. I know what's going on. I'm all over the place, and I'm here to tell you, it's not cleaned up. You got to understand, the first third of time, 33 and a third, 70,000 gallons of dispersant. The second 66 and a sixth, guess what? 1,730,000 gallons of dispersant. You gonna tell me at 66% of the time that they put this much dispersant out, and now here a month later that it's gone? There's no way. As far as Bonnie goes, it broke it up, it got rid of it. Bonnie was a rain cloud. This last one that we had, when it come through, there was some bad weather, but nothing. It wasn't a hurricane. It wasn't what we would say. And I mean, it's not. It hasn't been enough time for this stuff to biodegrade anyway. It's not gone. Bottom line. So, and the health concerns. You know, I mean, we're going to be doing some health studies in the area. We still had people who are breaking out in rashes and different things, so we will be taking care of all of that. Thank you.
Mr. Kramer, is the FDA monitoring seafood recovered from the Gulf for the presence of heavy metals present in crude oil?
We are not, no.
Are you monitoring for it right now?
And I would defer to NOAA to answer what has been done on this, but I wanted to mention that FDA is not, but the NOAA program we believe is a good sentinel program.
Let me go to NOAA then. It's because it's my understanding that compounds like mercury, arsenic, and other heavy metals that are present in crude oil have the ability to accumulate in the tissues of fish in levels that may cause harm, particularly to pregnant women and children. Has the FDA or NOAA here examined seafood for the presence of heavy metals?
Again, I'm going to defer to my colleagues at NIMS to answer that correctly, and we'll get back to you with an answer for that.
So, Mr. Kramer, back over here at FDA, you don't screen for heavy metals. You think that NOAA may, but
yes,
the witness today does not know the answer.
We do not expect to see an increase based on this spill. But
Mr. Kramer, I wrote a letter to the FDA on this issue of heavy metals 6 weeks ago, and I have yet to receive an answer from the FDA. So,
and I apologize for that, Mr. Chairman. I would be happy to respond to those questions at this time.
I would not have asked the question if I did not believe that it was important. I mean, heavy metals obviously have a danger that attaches to them, and to have this kind of regulatory black hole be created here today between the FDA and NOAA in terms of knowing what the response is to testing for heavy metals in these fish, which we know can accumulate in fish, is something that obviously should have been identified within the last 6 weeks since I wrote the letter. When can I expect that response from the FDA?
In a matter of days.
Thank you, Mr. Kramer, very much.